What is up, people? Welcome back to more CSGO news, and my mind is actually broken this morning. I cannot believe what just happened. It was actually planned for today. I was going to share with all of you guys a throwback clip of Rush and NAF actually raging at each other because it was brought up during a Hex podcast. I will link down below for all of you. He had a great podcast with all of the old OpTic members, and they were talking about one of the old clips between Rush and NAF where they were raging back and forth at one another.
Dude, I feel like NAF and Will have come a long way, like from their the ways they were back in the day.
Honestly, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I saw Will as an older brother on OpTic, to be honest.
Yeah,
we would argue,
nice.
we would go cutthroat.
The clip on Nuke, for example.
So I guess I'll play you guys the clip they were talking about as well, which is still pretty hilarious, as well as link it down below for all of you.
Baixo do inferno, esperando os jogadores chegar, o Showtime e o Lucas que trabalham por baixo, vão tentando ganhar e conseguem vencer o primeiro duelo, porém o Showtime tá com C4 e não pode morrer por aqui. Tenta fugir.
Going there, shut your fucking mouth. This is so stupid. We know what they're doing, where they're going, but can you please chill? Okay, just don't talk to me.
But ironically enough, now days later, it's been announced as of this morning, guys, it will be Stanislaw replacing Daps on the NRG roster. And why I say ironically enough, you guys have been following it because he just had a podcast. That being Hector, the old OpTic owner, he was closer to the players around the time that CSGO roster was taking off with all those old members. And the same thing happened. This legitimate same move, that being Tarik already on the team, of course, other members as well. But it's actually brought to us by Wikipedia. They even say it as well because we knew at the time it was Tarik who urged the move, and that being the replacement of Daps by Stanislaw. And now fast forward 3 years later, and the same move is being made, which we could probably suppose is probably due to the fact of Tarik or other players urging it, but we're going to lean probably towards that Tarik point. I'm not blaming the guy for wanting Stanislaw on the team. I think I actually like this move in general, but you feel so bad for a guy like Daps who has been twisted back and forth time and time again with this same form of this roster, and yet again it will be Stanislaw replacing Daps on another roster, this being Team NRG. Will it be a big future change? It could be, but you have a team like NRG who is doing decent. They're doing fairly well, right? They're one of the top North American teams out there, arguably number 2, and now you do this, and it's just how is this? The full circle is insane to me, and maybe you guys don't feel the same way about this, but the same roster move was made 3 years ago on a completely different roster, and now the same move is made again 3 years later on a different team. There has to be something going on there. I do think it has a high potential to work out for these guys, but again, yet another team in that long laundry list of teams making changes, big changes, as we approach the major. It just feels so bad because we knew it was going to be NRG, Cloud9, maybe Envy were the likely choices of where Stanislaw would go, and it had to be this. Of all the options out there, it had to be this one, which hurts the most. I feel I honestly haven't felt this bad for a player in so long. Daps will certainly find a home. He made this team a great deal of where they are right now, and hopefully he will find a home. Will he find one before our upcoming major? Completely different question. Alongside that, though, other roster changes, I guess we could say in happier news out there, will be Ye, who has been a great stand-in player. Me and my friend, I've been going back on Twitter about this guy for the last 4 months or so because he was a great stand-in for Ints. Yeah, he played alongside KNG as well as Bad News Bear. He was there, the Bad News Bears, for a very, very short amount of time, and he has now been picked up. I was surprised not by complexity, but it will be Lazarus, of course, picking him up on top of that. Unfortunate news confirmed this morning, though, they cannot use 2 players, of course, for obvious reasons. They cannot use Swag during the major qualifier run. Of course, the minor qualifier run will be sometime soon for this team, and along with that, they can also not use Ye. So I think a great move for the roster overall, but for the major run itself, they're going to be making, I'm not too hopeful about them because they will be changing out 2 players. One of the players joining the team for their minor run will be FNS. Their next player, though, replacing Ye, I have no idea because they cannot use him currently. And speaking of big minor surprises out there for our minor runs for a lot of teams out there, the CIS region has already seen a lot of upsets. That being former rosters who are used to seeing the major will now no longer be there. The first of which, Vega Squadron, their new roster will not compete as they have lost against Team Dream Eaters. And alongside them, guys, I would say pretty surprisingly, I think they had the minor wrapped up to at least qualify for the minor. I'm not going to say they were going to be a major competing team, that being Winstrike and their brand new roster addition, that being Edward as well. Unfortunately enough, they also go out in that minor qualifier run, and I say very unfortunate, very sad, because when you have the CEO of Winstrike apologizing himself for making these changes so close to their minor run itself, and alongside that, it will be Edward missing his first major ever since 2013. So some sad stuff out of CIS, some big upsets coming. Of course, I'll break down more of that for you guys Monday, as we do have our closed qualifiers and minors starting very shortly, and the competition is only heating up. And then also, we have a brand new Turkish lineup. This is actually thanks to Joe Cardali. He pointed it out first. They're called Turkey 5, and they have 6 members. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to comment about that, but my own thoughts about this, you know, you have no Major, you have no Calix. Calix is surprisingly still a free agent as well, looking towards maybe North American teams, or at least some other team away from the Turkish scene right now. No Despy. There's a lot of characters out there, the Turkish scene, that are not on this team. Do I have high hopes for them? I just don't think so currently. But then very lastly, in CSGO news for all of you guys today, it will be updated HLTV rankings. Nothing too new. It's actually Vitality retaining their top 5 spot. I'm surprised Vitality maybe didn't take a higher spot itself, but again, you take a title for what it's worth, but still a huge victory for Vitality. Even more so though, a huge jump for Furia, who has now also cracked the top 5 themselves and are now currently, as expected, the #1 Brazilian roster in the world. I paused for a second because how crazy is that, guys? MIBR back from ever since 2015, 2016 peak days, even 2017, and now Furia has taken the #1 Brazilian spot for the first time in what we're going to say probably 3 to 4 years, right? At the very least. That is insane. As always, though, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy. It's been a crazy few days here. If you guys want to check out other videos, esports news, the drama this week has been pretty insane, and as always, I love covering it for all of you guys, especially when it comes to the CSGO fans out there. I will see you all back here sometime soon. Hope you guys all enjoy. I've already said that, so I'm going to go. All right, take care. Bye-bye.